Hi guys, my name's Natalia and welcome back to my channel where I talk about books. Today I wanted to react to my 2023 reading stats. If you want to get your own stats, you can use the website called Storygraph. It is like an alternative to Goodreads. Now I have to admit I mainly use Goodreads and I started doing Storygraph only very recently, so I'm still not super used to this website, but I have to admit it does have a few features that Goodreads does not have. So one of them is obviously providing you with your reading stats. It could be for the entire year or for like some specific month. Other than that, you can actually rate your books like 4.5 stars or 3.75 stars, which you cannot do on Goodreads, and it's something that have always bothered me. You can only give like full stars on Goodreads, and I give a lot of like 4.5 stars, 3.5 stars ratings, and I cannot do that on Goodreads, which is quite frustrating. So for that, Storygraph is pretty good. Anyway, enough about the Storygraph. Let's just get into the video. Basically, in 2023, I read 35 books and 13,489 pages. So 35 books was actually my reading goal that I set for myself. Especially at the end of the year, I was really spacing out my reading in a way so that I could reach my goal. So yeah, I just reached it and I didn't get to read any more books than that. Actually, for 2024, I set a goal of 40 books, so a little bit more than last year. I will try to read more, that's for sure. Let's go to the next category, which is moods. So I mainly read books that were adventurous, mysterious, dark, and tense. I don't know why it makes me laugh, but it's just like mysterious, dark, emotional. It sounds like I read some pretty intense books. Yeah, I think I did. I don't read a lot of like super light-hearted books. Actually, it says that I read 5 light-hearted books, so I would say that's still quite a lot for me. I do like some good dark and mysterious book. Next chart is pace. So I mainly read medium paced books and fast paced books, like it's pretty similar, and then slow paced books are only 3%, literally just one book. Let's see, which one is it? Pride and Prejudice. Okay, yeah, it is slow paced, I agree with that, but I really enjoyed it, even though I don't usually read slow paced books. But Pride and Prejudice was a very enjoyable read for me, so maybe from time to time I can enjoy a slow-paced book, but not too much, because I can get bored quite easily, I think. Okay, next is a page number. So I mainly read books that were between 300 and 499 pages, and I think that's true. Like most of the books I read are within this page number. So 9% of the books were less than 300 pages and 6% were more than 500 pages. Actually, I'm curious to see which books I read that were more than 500 pages. Let's see. Oh, Serpent and Dove and A Court of Mist and Fury. Oh, I didn't even realize that Serpent and Dove was above 500 pages, but A Court of Mist and Fury, yeah, definitely it took me forever to read that, so I'm not surprised. And below 300 pages, I read Angel Fall, Oh, The Summer It Turned Pretty, and How the King of Elfheim Learned to Hate Stories. Okay, that's really interesting. Next, we've got fiction or non-fiction. As you can see, I only read fiction this year. I don't know, I have a few non-fiction books on my TBR, so I might try reading them in 2024. I don't know, I'm not a huge nonfiction girly. I just love my fiction. But yeah, I might, just like I said, I have some nonfiction books on my TBR. I think mainly I added a lot of books on social anxiety because it's something I'm dealing with. But I think there were also some books on writing. So I might read those in 2024 just so that, you know, next year when I review my stats, it's not like only fiction. Next we've got genres. So I mainly read young adult, fantasy, romance, mystery, and thriller, which I'm not surprised by. These are literally my favorite genres. But yeah, I think this is pretty accurate. Next we've got tags. So I think, yeah, these are just tags that I made myself. So we've got fantasy, thrill, mystery, favorites, romance, dark academia, classics, horror. So it's basically just like your genres. And this year, apparently, I read 6 books that I added to my favorites, so I'm very happy about that. Let's check which books I added. The Wicked King, The Queen of Nothing, Shadow Kiss, Divine Rivals, The Cruel Prince, and Caraval. So apparently these are my top books of the year because I added them to my favorites. Next we've got formats. So yeah, most of the books I read are just like printed, and only 8% was ebooks or digital. Yeah, that's true. I don't read a lot of ebooks. I don't know. And I definitely do not listen to audiobooks. No, actually, I have listened to some audiobooks, but I was listening while I was reading my printed version of the book. So that's why it's not counted in here as audiobooks, because, you know, I was still reading the printed version and I would just listen to the audiobooks from time to time. So I just didn't count it as listening to the audiobook, because it was just like I used it as an addition while reading my printed version. I feel like it helped me focus a lot more. So yeah, it's not shown in here. Okay, next is most read authors. I actually noticed there's a mistake here. It says I read 3 books by Alice Osman, but I actually only read 2. I don't know, I think it's just some error on the website. But other than that, I read 4 books by Holly Black. Yeah, I mean, she's one of my favorite authors, so I'm not surprised by that. 3 books by Stephanie Garber and Susan E. and Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and yeah, 2 books by Sarah J. Maas. Languages. All books in this time period are in English. No, actually, I did read Pride and Prejudice in Polish, but I couldn't, because I read like Polish ebook, but I couldn't find a Polish ebook on Storygraph. I guess I could add it myself, but I was too lazy. So I just set it to like an English ebook, but I did read it in Polish. So maybe I should read more books in Polish. I don't know, I guess I just got so used to reading books in English. And currently living in Korea, there's like no access to books in Polish from here, but I can access books in English, so I think that's why I kind of switched. Definitely used to read a lot more in Polish. Next, number of books and pages. So as you can see, I started off pretty strong. Then like March, April, I literally read nothing. I don't know what happened there. Maybe I was just overwhelmed. I don't know, I guess I just didn't feel like reading, and it's okay. Then I slowly started reading more again. Okay, it seems like August was my best reading month, and then slowly I started reading less again. Next is star rating. So my average rating was 4.09, which I think it's pretty high. Like, I thought I was a lot more strict with my rating, but it turns out I was quite generous. So I gave 5 stars to 8 books, and then I also gave 4 4 stars to 8 books. So 4 stars it still means I enjoyed these books, so it's still quite a lot. And then I gave 3.5 stars to 7 books. So this is how I rated my books. And that was actually the last chart. That's it for this video, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.